What's happening, guys? It's Ryan with Basic Bag Wurx. This video is going to be a special. It's a instructional video, but for those who are following the channel, this video is going to be for a product that I sell. It's a disc brake swap for all rear ends for 8693 Mazda B series. So watch it, enjoy it, and for those who have bought the kit or the adapter plates, greatly appreciate the support. Hope this video works out for you as far as getting information to be able to do your swap. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, give me a holler. Also check out the instructions that were sent to you when you purchased the kit, which gives you all your parts and your parts list along with part numbers that you can for your parts. So check it out. Alright, on to the disc brake swap. You want to remove these 4 bolts here that hold the backing plate on. If you want to remove the backing plate, if not, you can cut off wheel grinder and then just come in here and cut around the flange and then clean up with a flat disc. You want to do it for both sides.
Definitely gonna want to wiggle shaft, a wobble, whatever you want to call it. It's supposed to be a pressed-on bearing, so find out how pressed on and condition of the bearing, and how little grease is actually in there. It's pressed on, but it's got a lock collar.
For those of you guys who want to narrow the rear end, when you pull the axle out, this area right here of the darker splines, so you got here the brighter area, and you kind of see a line here, and here's the end of your splines. If you measure this, that is how much you can narrow each side. So when you pull the axle for the driver's side, measure it, you can narrow that much. Pull it for the passenger side, measure it, you can narrow it that much for each side. Or if you know a machinist, take it to them, they can respline it, and then you shorten it however much you need to or you want to.
Spline, or keyway rather.
Yep.
Really?
And guys, if you've never messed with rear, anything like this before, when you take something apart, pay attention and lay it out like we are on a piece of cardboard, and put it in the order that you take it out, right? So we took the nut off first. So the nut goes down first, and we set it down with this being the downside here. This washer comes off, which is keyed, and you notice the keyway is down. When the keyway goes down there, so it goes facing up. Now keep in mind that the bearing is pressed onto that axle shaft. So if you got a press, then you can get it out, no problem. If not, you got to find somebody with a press or take it to a machine shop or somebody like that, and get the bearing pressed over. Get the bearing pressed out. Now, if you have a bad bearing, definitely want to go ahead and get it replaced. But if you're gonna take the bearing off, you might as well go ahead and replace it anyways. be better safe than sorry than have to take it all back apart, go back in it, and get the bearing pressed off again. Now, for those of you who don't want to go through all of the removing the bearings just to get the back plate off, we're going to show you a quick and easy way to get it off by using cut-off wheel and grinder. So yeah, this way we've showed you both ways to do it. Truthfully, the fastest way is to unbolt it, remove the bolts from the drum backing plate.
And they just knock out real easy with a pin punch or sharpened chisel.
And actually separate your drum backing plate from the mount here. Then what we're going to do, we're going to come across here. We're going to come across here and cut off.
Slice and slice.
And that way you can get it off a whole lot easier.
And keep your bearings clean.
Right. That's another thing. Instead of removing the whole axle shaft and then try to cut the backing plate, then you're going to get grinding dust and cut off wheel and anything like that into your bearing, and can cause premature failure on your bearing. You definitely don't want that, because then you got to pull the rear end back apart. Then you got to get the bearing pressed off the axle. You got to go from there. Something I have not said yet so far in this series and all the episodes and everything. Hey guys, safety first.
At least wear your glasses.
You got Jensen over there wearing earplugs. That's probably a good idea too, but I'm hard-headed. At least I got my safety glasses on.
Talk about safety first. How's the no guard?
Or how about the fact we're running a 6-inch cutoff wheel on a 4.5-inch grinder?
Yeah, that too. Push that gloves.
And then just repeat that for the other side. You're halfway there. All right, guys. On the disc brake swap kit that you get from us at Basic Bag Wurx, we are going, from this point on, we're going to be including I guess you'll call it a grinding guide or a grinding jig, depending on what your terminology is, how you want to see it. But it looks like this. A big piece of 16 gauge, mild steel, cuts out, slips right onto your flange there, onto your hub there. And it allows you to see how much material you need to take off. So on this one here, we're probably looking somewhere around 1/8 of an inch to 3/16. It's got to be taken off. And I'm sure every hub is probably a little bit different, give or take some. So with that being said, if you're going to take it to a machine shop, 6 13/16 is going to be the OD that it needs to be machined to. So that way it fits inside here, because there just so happens to be a teeny tiny lip right there. mean, it's just so small of a lip that it's, and you can't really measure it. So we cut several different jigs there to get the correct diameter there. And so yeah, 6 13/16 is going to be spot on the number that you want. Alright, as you saw there, use the grinding jig or grinding guide, however you want to look at it. Got the flange grinded down. Here's what it looks like after. We also grinded the tabs off the flange here for our wheels that's going to be going on this truck, so we don't have to bore out the wheels. Alright, so we're going to put this on. If I can do this one-handed. There we go. If it's all the way up. I don't know if you can see that or not. But yeah, rotor fits all the way up. And next, after this, we're going to pull this rotor back off. And then we're going to take out these two bolts here and put on our adapter plate, our caliper bracket, rotor back on, and we'll be good to go. And that right there will be the disc brake swap. So, set you back up on a time lapse or a regular video with no audio, and we'll show you how to put the rest of this together. You said it is rolling. Yeah. All right, so depending on how you want to, where you want to put the caliper, whether you want to put it behind or in front of the axle, you will need to either pull the rear two or the front two bolts. In this case, we're going to have our caliper on the back side. So we're going to pull the rear two bolts and we're going to install the new ones. What you're going to want to do between the spacer plate and the back side of here, 2 washers for a spacer. And these are already included in the kit. Alright, so what I've done is already preloaded the caliper with the brake pads. We're going to slide caliper on. We're going to roll it around into place. And we're going to stick our short bolts in with a lock washer. And you may want to run the bolts through the mounting bracket just to clear out any paint that may be there. But once you run them up, tighten them up. And there you have it. Disc brake swap for your Mazda. So if you have any questions, concerns, need to know a little bit more information, I have done the research for a customer. We can get this in a wheel wood setup. So there is that possibility. Of course, it is extra. You can get drilled and slotted rotors for extra as well. And then we can also powder coat the adapter bracket for you for an additional price. All of this information, minus the wheel wood stuff, is on the website. So if you want to order, just shoot us a message, an email, or go to our website. That website is www.basicbagwurx.com. All right. Catch you guys on the next video.